cordial Christmas welcome to all our people near and far, dear subjects all of the UK, the Commonwealth, Dominions and Bots. That's British Overseas Territories. I think they still call it that. This year has been a difficult year for many of us, including our husband and we, whom have been most grievously affected by the government's austerity programme. At the Royal Garden parties, we had to serve canapés with cod's roe instead of caviar. To all one's distinguished guests and all the hoi polloi that we graciously allowed into our grounds, one extends one's sincerest apologies. But needs must when the devil drives, as we all know so well. So never let it be said that we are not all in this together. And I hope it is of a comfort to you that we understand and share your hardships. And remember, at least you all have food banks, whereas we have to store our provisions on one's own premises, at one's own expense. Only the other day, we shot a caribou on the Sandringham estate, and goodness alone knows what the freezer costs will be. But let me assure you that not a penny of it will come from the civil list, but all from one's own monies, raised from the hoffments and fecklements of one's own lands that one's family appropriated legitimately and nobly with the sword, fire and pillage many years ago. 2014 has been a chilling year in many ways, and not just for caribou. My dear United Kingdom came close to being rent asunder by a load of misguided jocks who simply don't understand how well off they are under the tutelage of our beloved Westminster. One would have thought that sending the stone of Scone back would have been enough to keep them happy. But in the end, we were greatly relieved that all those photo opportunities down the years in ghastly kilts paid off, and the Scotch people saw how dear to our heart are all our extensive lands and estates in North Britain. One's royal blood, all the way back to the noble blue-arsed MacTaggart of Fife, froze in one's veins at such a frightfully close-run thing. On a lighter note, we have had some super parties with delightful guests, such as the Sultan of Oman and the King of Saud. Camilla and we had to sit in the corner with blankets over our heads, but we were kindly supplied with holes to peep through, and it was marvellous to see that a jolly time was being had by all. It was only a pity the King of Saud had to leave early to attend a crucifixion. Which brings me neatly round, if my theology serves me right, to the real meaning of Christmas and the birth of our dear Lord. As you know, my daughter-in-law Kate is great with child, and to our mind comes the thought of the miracle and mystery of birth. Of course, although our grandchild will be a special royal baby, it will not be quite as special as dear baby Jesus, and quite categorically will not be laid in a manger, because that would be unhygienic and scarcely appropriate in the 21st century. We'd be having social services round. Nowadays, such a thing would amount to child abuse, which is the province of the honourable gentlemen in the Houses of Parliament, and there's rather strange creative sorts down at the BBC. Yes, it has indeed been an annus horribilis in many ways, with in our duty to put on a good show for the Bedinti folk. Nothing keeps them more contented than watching a lot of toffs go by wearing sparkly hats, and we are unfailingly ready to sacrifice all to duty and happily oblige even if it is awfully hard work. But nature too, you know, is a tonic. As we were going walkabout at the Chelsea Flower Show, we were presented with a most beautiful rose that had been named after one, the Lizzie Royale. This rose appeared to one as a profound symbol, one upon which to meditate, pray and ponder thoughtfully. A royal rose, a perfumed rose, and whenever the stench of life grows too overwhelming, I imagine myself giving it a good sniff. We suggest that in similar circumstances, you do the same. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.